Welcome back to Browns Film Breakdown. We're going to jump in, cover the defensive side of the football. If you didn't already see episode 10 with Brandon Leister, we covered some Tyrod Taylor issues, how he can rectify them, what to look for going forward as the Browns head into New Orleans. I'm back here in my dungeon cave at home. Welcoming back Coach Bentley. We're going to talk about defense, 3 impact players. First guy we're going to look at is Denzel Ward. Second we'll look at is who I would consider the player of the game, Myles Garrett. And then last play, we'll look at rookie Genard Avery's big strip sack come close to ending the game in the right way for the Browns. They're very close. So, let's dive in. Here we got looks like first quarter action. Pittsburgh is on a long drive, several plays. I know this one took them down the field a good way. And this is a big mistake by Ben. So, Coach, walk me through what you're seeing coverage-wise here.
We're seeing some cover 2 with these 2 safeties. We've got one just slightly off the picture here on the bottom hash, and we've got the other up top as well. So it's one thing you and I have talked, the idea of the Browns disguising or lack of disguise of their coverages, and a Hall of Fame quarterback back there might make it a little easier for them. And obviously they're facing one this week too in Drew Brees. But I think that's why, and I'm a big zone guy, I like this cover 2 stuff that Greg Williams is running, dropping the extra lineman as well, even if sometimes it is Myles Garrett. But that they're getting a good they're not getting a lot of depth, so I think that's good. They're not giving up as much underneath stuff as they have been, maybe what we saw in the preseason. And then to me, zone is where the interceptions occur because you've got zone eyes. You can still get the matchup aspect that you want sometimes in man-to-man because of the route reading, and Denzel's got that little flat route right there immediately. And as the play continues and starts to break down for Roethlisberger, keeps his eyes forward, sees Ben scramble and reads the shoulder and reads the cocking of the elbow and the wrist and so on, and obviously makes a great play and stunts their drive here to change some momentum.
Yep, you'll see at the top of the screen Antonio Brown, Ryan Switzer run a little flat concept from Switzer at the top. He's going to sit at the sideline as a sort of pseudo outlet, and then it gives Antonio Brown a chance to work his pivot inside. So if you notice where Ben's eyes go initially, his eyes go left. He's thinking his tight end is going to be open. Browns stun him a little bit, as Coach mentioned. They drop Emmanuel Ogbah. The Browns do drop linemen often. Last year they dropped the likes of Danny Shelton and Trevon Coley way too much, interior guys. And this is an interior drop too, but Emmanuel Ogbah can obviously move a little bit, which is good. They dropped Myles Garrett 9 times as well. That's quite a bit to drop your best pass rusher into coverage, but he played all 85 snaps on defense, so, it's maybe a sort of small break for him instead of rushing hard. But anyway, yep, like Coach said, top of the screen, you're going to see Ben notices he comes off that initial look to his left, notices that somebody's dropped into the alley. His eyes go right. He's looking for Antonio Brown. Obviously, interior pressure from, I think that's Larry Ogunjobi, I think at the top here, driving him into his face. That bull rush is a beautiful thing. It's what he's excellent at, taking really 2 guys into his face. Force has been out wide. Now, your coaching technique for your corner here, Coach. What are you telling your corner in this cover 2 situation? He's got somebody pressing his area. Teaching point here would be what?
Well, like I said, I think he's got that covered, that flat route covered. So once you start to see the breakdown, the scramble out of Roethlisberger, at that point it's really just lock on to somebody so that he doesn't find that opening. Now, Antonio Brown gets away from, I think it was Jamie Collins, I think it was in there. But by having those eyes forward, having the receiver in front of him, even though he is locked on Jesse James, he can make that break. And that's where – and it's not even just him. I mean, look at the host of white jerseys and orange hats right there. There you go. I mean, you're starting to see it from the Asenzo shot. I mean, if it's not Denzel, it's Jamie Collins and whoever the safety is right behind it. My goodness, that's what zone coverage can do for you. I mean, that ball, he's trying to fit that in a tight window as much as Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame receiver. That's not going to fit through.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's what you want to see out of Denzel Ward. Nice job reading the eyes, making a break on a play there. Especially in a rookie debut. That's beautiful stuff. Okay, jumping back in, play 2. This is Myles Garrett. If you guys recall, scores 21-7 at this point. Pittsburgh is in pretty safe control of the game. Browns had just missed a throw to Jarvis Landry on 4th and 5 in Pittsburgh red zone to bring it to 21-14. It was 7 minutes and some change left. I noted that the broadcast had said most folks were actually heading toward the exit signs. Felt like it was over. But this is why you have a dynamic playmaker, 95, who you drafted first overall, franchise-changing defensive end for plays like this. So Pittsburgh's going to run split zone from the offset eye here. They're just going to obviously zone here. You're going to get a pass set out of Villanueva, which you're going to get your inside zone track from everybody up front. You're going to see this inside foot. They'll work double teams to climb to where they need to. This right here, you're going to see these guys help here because you're going to get fullback bending back to backside, kicking out this overhang defender, downfield start, and then work your cutback lane from James Conner. It actually develops pretty well, as you guys will see, but there's one slight problem. That is Myles Garrett. So let's slowly start this one. You will see, and I want to get to the coaching point here, is going to be what happens at left tackle. Walk me through, Coach, the thought. I know you play defensive end. Walk me through this thought process. What happens? What's the left tackle doing? Why is he doing it? How does Myles Garrett defeat it?
Well, at this point in the game, I got to think Villanueva is just trying to adapt and survive versus Myles Garrett and the havoc that he's caused on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think he very easily would have been better off trying to reach Myles and give him almost a false key to get him to widen than what it looks like to me is almost like a pass set screen type idea where a defensive end with the way Greg Williams is running this defense, attack, get upfield, cause disruption, Myles is getting upfield here. And so Villanueva is almost trying to just club him farther back. So his momentum carries him beyond James Conner. And then obviously Conner can bend it back and continue the run. But the freak of an athlete that Myles Garrett is, I think because he's so quick out of his stance, the burst out of that 3-point stance, it almost to me looks like Villanueva just misses him, like a swing and a miss. And with Myles playing, his pad level is so low that he can sit there and turn that corner and redirect that I don't think Conner expected him to be anywhere near him at that moment.
Yep, good point. Good point, and especially there because he's I think if we see the wide view, we will see he's actually in the process as he takes the handoff of crossing the ball over, not quite secured as it should be. That back hand, this is pretty innate stuff, man. I mean, it's special to be able to poke that backhand through what would you say that is, like 4-inch wide gap between his bicep and back there to poke that thing out?
I mean, I'm already teaching my 8-year-old son, you got to have 5 points of contact with the ball. Your fingers, palm, forearm, bicep, and pectoral. And that ball is by far off his chest. It looks like it's not on the bicep very well. And, yeah, there's space, and that's what creates it. But the amazing thing to me, I mean, we've had those years and years of bad drafts. Now we've seen – this is play number 2 now. We've seen a first-round draft pick with 2 picks. We've seen a guy like Myles Garrett here. This changes the whole ball game. And his ability to turn down the line of scrimmage that quickly. I mean, he's 2 yards? If we're looking at that side judge, he's 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. From a pass rush stance almost.
Yep. Puts that right foot in the ground and he's down quick.
In bad field conditions.
We like our strong safety with the head start to beat Ben into the end zone here, but that's a conversation for another time. All right, back last play, Genard Avery. This is desperation time. Pittsburgh took over the ball with a minute left in overtime. They're obviously trying to score rapidly. Browns are trying to create a turnover to get the ball back. They call on fifth round rookie Genard Avery to make this play. So he's coming off the edge like he's done. You'll see a lot of this week as Emmanuel Ogbah's likely out. He will be in a 2-point coming off the edge, trying to bend and turn the corner. That's what he does here. Pittsburgh is going to run an interesting concept from a bunch set. They're going to drive Juju Smith-Schuster down the middle of the field. They're going to put James Washington, rookie from Oklahoma State, they're going to put him on almost a pseudo-banana route where he's going to drive in at 15 and then put his foot in the ground and angle toward the sideline at a 45. And then they're going to long drag 5, 10 to 15 Antonio Brown off the backside. So it's all going to work in front of Ben's face. So what we're going to pay close attention to here is going to be Genard Avery's bend off the edge. So you can see him highlighted here at the bottom of the screen. His bend is what's going to make this play. So the big part of what we see from Genard Avery is his ability to get upfield at a low angle with his hips down deep below where his tackle's trying to block him, and then put his foot in the ground, get back upfield, make a play. So, like, Coach, walk me through the difficulty in being able to do this sort of thing at a high level, not only to make that turn that we see right here, but to then stop your momentum and come back downhill and make a play on the quarterback.
Yeah, playmaker number 3 for these young guys out of the Browns. So I'm excited. At his size, he's got to have a great burst, which he does. But he's got to have a great burst, and he's got to keep those shoulders low, especially dipping and ripping that inside shoulder to get underneath those big offensive tackles. And if you watch 77's shoulders, as soon as he turns them perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, he's beat. He's done. It's over. So, Avery gets a little deep, obviously, as you kind of said. But 77 is toast as soon as – and I think – I mean, he knows it. He knows when he sees Avery line up that wide that guy's got that kind of speed, and he's trying to get back. He's trying to get his depth. When he turns those shoulders and Avery dips and rips and drops that inner shoulder, it's game over. Katie bar the door. So, but, yeah, the turning – redirecting, just incredible agility to continue to get after it, the hustle, the energy the guy brings into the game. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe upper 20s snaps.
Mm-hmm.
I saw.
No, he actually got 44.
Was it that high?
Quite a few, yeah.
Maybe I was reading somebody else's, but great play, great energy. Redirect, never give up, because you drew the routes in earlier. I mean, they've got some guys open coming here, so if he doesn't make this, it could have been bad the other way.
Yeah. So James Washington, you guys can see upper left corner, goes on his 45, and he's pretty open. Denzel Ward's in a nice phase, but you can put that ball on the sideline and make a play. And then you also see Terrence Mitchell and Jabril Peppers run into each other, and Antonio Brown's climbing cross route there comes wide open too. So last thing is they make the play here. You guys will all remember this. Gets a little frustrating. You got 3 men here to form a wall. I think Genard is probably embarrassed watching this tape, realizing what he's doing. He obviously just doesn't realize that someone's pursuing. He is ahead of himself celebration-wise. It's unfortunate that block in the back happens, and then, the block field goal happens. But, like Coach Bentley pointed out, guys, you got 3 young players that are really promising. Obviously Denzel Ward had a breakout debut that you want to see. You had Myles Garrett do Myles Garrett things. He said today he's 100% healthy for the first time, he feels like, since before he hurt his ankle at Texas A&M. And, you obviously have Genard Avery, who's been a pleasant surprise for everybody following the Browns. You feel good about him as a outside linebacker defensive end hybrid. So, Coach, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here. We'll definitely jump back in after hopefully Drew Brees takes it easy on us this week. I'm a little nervous. Drew Brees is pretty special. He's out in front of things. He threw for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. So this is wrap for episode 11, guys. Follow, if you can, Browns Film Breakdown on Twitter. Follow along Browns Film BDN on Instagram, and then obviously follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.